Hey guys, Eric Steckel here. Happy to be here. We're at Norm's Rare Guitars today doing a demo and talking a little bit about my favorite amp on the planet, the Mezzabarba Trinity. And I've been playing this amp for about a year now, and it's going on all my tours coming up. And it's just the EL34, 100 watt, high gain beast. It can do other things as well, which we'll show you. And complements my hands, my playing, and my guitars really well. And thrilled to be working with these guys, so hope you dig it. Alright guys, so what you just heard there was a little bit of my sound and how I use the Trinity. And I like to use it pretty much just full on. I have the overdrive, the bass, and the middle always on 10 on channel 3. So what I'm doing is I'm using the amp for everything it has, and I'm controlling the actual dynamics for my guitar's volume knob. And that's how my hands work. I don't use any pedals. So that's how I like the amp, and it's a great lead tone because you don't need pedals. A lot of amps, to get that really nice lead tone, you need to push it with something, and with this amp, you never have to, which makes my life a lot easier, and I love doing that. And it even has, you know, a boost and a bright built in if you want to give it that just a little extra over the top, which of course I do. So it's just great for me because it's just simple and easy to use, and it gets me that sound that is always in my head, you know, so it's a beautiful thing. Alright guys, now moving on for the folks who don't always play with everything on 10 like me. This amp is very versatile, and I've used a lot of great high gain amps over the years, as many folks who are fans of mine know. But a lot of the downfall of those amps is when you go to the clean channel. It doesn't have the sparkle, and doesn't have that beautiful sizzle on top that this one does. So I'm going to show you a little bit of just totally clean, and I'm just on the middle position here, and it sounds great. So another cool feature of this amp is that each channel has its own boost, and that's great because when you have a sound you like on each channel, you can get a little more out of it. And on channels 1 and 2, it's really cool. So right now we're still in channel 1, and we engage the boost, and it sounds a little bit like this. Has a nice sort of 70s grind to it. Alright guys, so now we're moving on to channel 2, the crunch channel, and we have no boost engaged at the moment, so we're just kind of venturing into that hot-rodded territory now. We're getting into the 80s now, but we're in the early 80s still. So no boost on, great crunch, and still it's just guitar cable amp. All right, guys, so now let's kick in the boost, and you'll hear the change it makes. All right, guys. Now we're back to the beginning. My sound, channel 3, everything maxed out. But the cool thing we're going to show you now is kind of how the boost works on this channel, and it's a bit different than some amps, and it's really cool. So there's a lot of gain on channel 3 on tap, and of course, since I'm using it maxed out, there's definitely a lot of gain. So when you engage the boost on channel 3, you're not getting more gain, but you're getting a little boost in like the upper mids to make your solos just a little wider, a little thicker. So it's almost like kind of going from a high gain rhythm to a high gain lead. That's how I see the boost on this channel. So let's demonstrate a little bit of that for you. So right now the boost is off. Alright guys, so you've seen a lot of the features now, or you've seen all the features of the front panel of the amp, but the cool thing about this amp is it does have some stuff in the back. It has depth and feedback, it has dual masters, effects loop, all that. And as most of you know, depth is pretty self-explanatory. It gives you that bottom, that chunk, especially in a 412 cab, so I use it pretty much all the way up. But feedback, and this is a thing that's really cool about Mezzabarba amps, is the feedback knob is basically your way of opening or closing the amp. Almost like the valves on an exhaust in a car, you know? And it's really cool because you can find your sweet spot, the sound that you like, without having to even touch the EQ in the front. Just that feedback knob gives you that compression or that openness to find what you like and what suits your gig, your playing, your songs. And that's one of the coolest things about this amp for me. And I personally like to use it kind of wide open. And it just makes the amp, to me, come alive a lot more. But some guys like a darker tone, more fusion tone. That's cool. And this amp is for you because it can literally do it all. So check it out. And also, guys, for the folks out there who are preamp lovers, we have the Mezzabarba now makes the Nirvana Preamp, which is essentially the Trinity amp in a preamp format. So you can use this with your own power amp or however you like to use it. Very similar tones, maybe a bit softer because of the format of it. So if you're into the preamp sound and you also like the Trinity, this is probably your answer. So check it out.